guys, it's Natalie, aka Wyoming Parmesan, and I just thought I would make a little video to talk about some things that I have been thinking about in the last few days in regards to Miraculous Ladybug. I know if you follow me on Twitter, I have talked about it in tweets, but I thought that this was something that I needed to physically talk about because there has just been so much stuff going on with the fandom, and so these are just my personal thoughts, and so some you may agree, some may disagree. This is just what I think, and this is how I have interpreted the series, or mainly the season finale. So just a warning, if you have not seen the season finale parts 1 or 2, I'm not going to go into the plot. There is one specific thing that I want to talk about in regards to those episodes, and so, but even then, if you don't want to hear that, if you haven't seen those episodes, click off right now. Don't watch this. Alright, so getting straight to it, this is going to be the main thing that everyone has been talking about, and that is ships. Ships are something that can tear a fandom apart, something that can bring them together. This one has just been crazy, and if you have seen the finale, you know why. So, in the finale, in the last episode we saw, or in the last 2 episodes, we saw something that has been building up over the last 2 seasons, with Marinette getting a new love interest and Adrian getting a new love interest besides each other. So basically we saw what could potentially be, or what we are seeing as the beginning of the love square starting to break apart. And so this is Marinette getting with Luca, Adrian getting with Kagami. And so this has been both positive and negative. With me, I have been kind of in the middle. For one, you know, I am a huge Adrianette shipper. I love Adrianette. I love Lady Noir as well, and so that extends to that side as well. And so it's just, you know, I think some people are really angry, some people are really sad, some people are really happy. I've just been a whirlwind of emotions over this, thinking about it, and so that's why I needed to talk about this. Okay, so first things first, what I want to say is just, you know, I really like this idea. Like, you know, if you have followed me on Twitter, or if you're friends with me, like, on Discord, and we've talked about this, I think it has been a long time coming, especially, you know, if you're caught up to the series, you know, the whole time it has been Marinette, going for Adrian, and Adrian as Cat Noir going for Ladybug, and both, one has ended in a rejection, the other ends in, you know, just Marinette has never been directly rejected by Adrian, but she has never told him how she feels. So that has just kind of been a stop in that part of the love square. Okay, so anyway, so I feel like what they're trying to do is show us that, you know, even though we know that Marinette and Adrian will end up together eventually, this is something that I think will be good for them, not just as a ship, as a couple, but as characters as well. They're individual people. And so I think what they're trying to show us is that sometimes you don't just find your one true love, your soulmate, the first time. And you have to remember that Marinette and Adrian are teenagers. They are high school students, and anyone who has been in high school, who has been a teenager before, which is literally everyone, knows that there is always, sometimes you want to be with other people before you find each other. So with Marinette being with Luca and Adrian being with Kagami, you need to, like, realize this is how I see it. So the way I see it is that these are possibly their first relationships, and so in a way Luca and Kagami are there to kind of show Marinette and Adrien what it's like to be in love with someone, and Luca and Kagami might be learning that as well. And so this will be a good opportunity to grow those two as characters, and also show us, you know, they will learn, you know, what it's like to be in a relationship and the way that you should treat someone, and, you know, eventually go through heartbreak and all that. And so that's why I think it's a good idea. Another thing, like I was saying earlier, is that Marinette and Adrien have both been in these unrequited relationships, and so I think it'll be fun to kind of see them, you know, eventually we knew that this was going to break. So Marinette isn't tired of Adrien, but she's realized that maybe they're better off as friends, and Adrien has kind of realized that, you know, pining for Ladybug when she doesn't feel the same way, which is kind of funny because we all know that she loves him, but she doesn't love Cat Noir. So I think it'll just be kind of fun to see that. So we kind of realized that, you know, they it was kind of not really hopeless, but it wasn't going anywhere, and they were both just going through different heartbreaks unknowingly with each other, which is one of the fun things about this show. So another thing I think that people have been upset about is just, you know, ships. And I mean, I understand, like, I've been upset about it too, but I think this will be a very fun experience, because now we will get to see what Marinette is like around, like, her, and, like, here's the part that I think people need to realize, is that this isn't the end of the love square. This isn't the end of their relationships, of Lady Noir or Adriennette, because, for one thing, Adrien will get to see what Marinette is like as her true self, as the part of her that he loves in Ladybug. And so this is where I think this is what they're going for, is eventually we will see a reverse love square. So it will be Adrien falling for Marinette, because he will get to see what she's like when she's not stammering and being all nervous around him. And Ladybug will get to see the other part of Cat Noir that she has not really known, because he's always flirting with her and stuff. And so, yeah, plus, you know, Luca and Kagami, like I said, I think that'll be fun to see more of them. And so, yeah, I mean, you know, you don't have to agree with those ships. Like, even me, like, I'm kind of iffy on them. Like, I think out of the two, I prefer Lucanette more. But Adrigami is cute as well, and I'm excited just to see where they go with those. And so, yeah, I think this is just also part of Marinette and Adrien building themselves as characters. We get to kind of see them, see their friendship evolve, because, you know, it's not like some people are acting like we're never going to see Adrien and Marinette interact with each other ever again. And that's not true. You know, you have to remember, they are still friends. They still go to the same school. Just because they're not dating each other doesn't mean that they won't hang out with each other anymore, okay? So basically, we're going to see a leveled up version of Adriennette. We might not get as many, like, you know, cute or romantic moments with them, but we're still going to see them be friends. And I think that is important, because like I said, we will get to see Adrien eventually fall in love with Marinette. And if the song Wall Between Us is any indication, if that goes along with the series, I don't know, since I think it's from the movie. You know, we're going to see him have this internal conflict of him being in love with Marinette while also being in love with Ladybug, not knowing that they're the same person, and I think that will be just fun to see. But yeah, I mean, with the finale, there was a lot of symbolism in it, with Marinette and Adrien kind of having the ice cream that looks like themselves, and then the end card where we see Ladybug and Adrien in the front, which that's the only part of the love square that is reciprocates each other's feelings. And then we saw Marinette and Cat Noir walking towards Luca and Kagami, and so I think that was just a really cool way to show that It's like Marinette walking away from Adrien, Cat Noir walking away from Ladybug, showing that they are starting to move on from each other, but their love for each other will never fade. This is just something that, you know, I think they need in order to finally love each other the way that they are meant to. Like, I think that if they were to get into a relationship, either on both sides, either Ladybug and Cat Noir or Adrien and Marinette, it would not be the way that it should be, because Adrien does not have feelings for Marinette yet, and Ladybug does not have feelings for Cat Noir. So it has to be both sides. And so yeah, that's just something I really like that they're doing. They're showing, like, you know, love is a big part of this show, and they're showing that love isn't as simple as we think it is. And a lot of cartoons will show that love is, that, you know, not on purpose, but they show, you know, two characters pining for each other, and then they end up with each other, and that's it. And so I love that they're showing that love isn't as simple as that, that you don't just find your soulmate, you know, your true love the first time around, especially not when you're 14 years old. And so this is the first step for Marinette and Adrien to begin to fall in love with the other part of themselves. And so not just with each other, but they will start to love the other parts of each other too. You know, we saw Marinette struggling with part of herself that we know as Ladybug, and we don't see it as much, but we know that Adrien, how different he is as himself and as Cat Noir. And so eventually I think we will see those parts of himself kind of come together. And so he has his own internal conflicts that I think you could talk about all day. So just, yeah, I just love that they're showing that love isn't as simple as we think. And also I lost my train of thought there. Oh yeah, that a big part of the plot of this series on the love side is that we start out with Marinette and Adrien loving half of each other, but they won't be able to be together until they learn to love both parts. So that's Adrien falling in love with Marinette and Ladybug falling in love with Cat Noir. And so, I mean, you can be upset. Like, I don't blame you for being upset, but just think about that in the long run, how amazing it's gonna be. And also, you have to remember, we're only on the end of season 3. We still have 2 more seasons, season 4 and season 5, plus the movie. Even though I think the movie is supposed to be different from the series, I don't know. It might be 2 different timelines, but either way, it's going to be fun. So, you know, just having, you know, Marinette and Adrien kind of have these 2 people come into their lives who can kind of give them what they need. With Marinette, it's someone who supports her and someone she can talk to, you know, about things, even if she can't talk about her Ladybug frustrations. And I know if you watched the finale without subtitles, and you didn't understand anything, don't do that. Go back, watch it with English subs, because trust me, it's a lot better. You will understand. You need to be able to understand it. So we have Marinette questioning if she's in love with Luca or not, but she says that she's not okay, but she's happy that she has someone who understands her. And then with Adrien and Kagami, whether or not you like that ship, like, I know everyone is not the biggest fan of Kagami. Kagami is kind of, either you love her or you hate her. Same with Luca. But I think it's kind of cool, though, to have, you know, we've seen Adrien being heartbroken over his love for Ladybug so much. So I think it's just really sweet for him to have someone who loves him. And then with Kagami, we kind of see they both kind of have the same pain. They both share the same pain of, you know, of their family life and kind of, you know, being, like their parents having very high expectations for them. And so that's why I thought it was really fun to see them kind of wanting to get away from all of that and be just normal kids for once. So yeah, I think it'll be really fun to see that. Even, you know, we know that we're gonna have to see a breakup with both of them. Yeah, I just think I love what they're doing. And, you know, there's other parts of the plot that we could talk about, but I just wanted to talk about the ships because this is something that I think is very important for people to remember. Is, you know, just a big summary is that Marinette and Adrien are teenagers. They've been dealing with a lot of heartbreak already with each other, unknowingly with each other. They are beginning to discover new parts of themselves, and they have people now in their lives who will help them discover how much they love each other. So, yeah, anyway, this is getting longer than I thought it would be, but I hope maybe I have kind of helped you understand with my rambling, you know, just what I think the writers of this show are trying to go for. Alright, so I think I've talked long enough. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, bye!